Hey, I'm Nate from Suburban Homesteaders. Today I'm going to be feeding my bees. Hopefully they respond well to it. They normally do anyways. And what I'm going to do is a 1-to-1 sugar water. Then I'm going to add some lemongrass to it so that they can find their way to the feed and hopefully start building up some comb. The general rule of thumb with feeding them is when you do 1-to-1 sugar water, it builds up their comb, or it helps them to build up the comb. If you do 2-to-1 sugar water, then that helps them build up stores, and you generally do that towards the fall. Then when you give them pollen, what the pollen does is helps them build up their brood. It makes their brood healthier. It also helps them build up in the wintertime, putting more fat on the bees so that they can survive the winter better. So today I'm just doing 1-to-1 sugar water, and I'm going to do it in both my hives. All right, so since I'm making 4 gallons and have 20 pounds of sugar, that will equal 1-to-1 sugar water. And now I'm just gonna put it in there and we're gonna make it up. Now, don't tell my wife, but I'm using her ladle thing, whatever it is, mixing spoon. And that is just 10 pounds. Now it's going to be 20 pounds. And I'm going to get this all mixed up thoroughly, and we'll get it in the hive after it's cooled down. One thing I forgot to mention is I add lemongrass to it so that the bees are attracted to it. And I'm just going to add a little bit. Now that the lemongrass is all added in, I'm going to mix it, and what the lemongrass actually does is it imitates the queen's pheromone, and that will help the bees be attracted to it a little bit more. And some people add pollen to it, some people add spearmint to it. I just add lemongrass and it helps the bees out. All right, so all I'm really gonna do now is take the top off and pour that in there. Since I don't have 2 hands, I'm going to pause the camera. As you can tell, I tend to make a little bit of a mess when I'm lifting 4 gallons of sugar syrup, but the long run it'll pay out, and hopefully this year, by the end of the season, towards the end of the season, I can put that deep on top of it, and we can actually get some honey this year. This hive I started earlier this year. It's not doing too hot, but it's kind of expected. I didn't give them a lot to start with, so I'm going to throw some sugar water in there, and hopefully that's going to bolster their numbers. All right, now that I have both hands, I tend to put sticks inside these boxes, or sorry, the containers for the sugar water, because I've noticed over the years that the bees will tend to fall inside there and start to drown in the sugar water. So I'll break it up a little bit and have them find a way to get out. I'm not wearing gloves while doing this, so if I got stung, that's that's on me. But these bees are generally pretty calm, so we'll see what happens. All right, now that the bees have some feed, they should go through it in about a month, build up some comb, and then maybe, hopefully, around August, if I'm lucky, I should be able to throw in the deep on the bigger hive. Thank you for your time. Like, subscribe. Thank you, and y'all have a great day.